stuff to say about Dungeons and Dragons' new book, Forces Anti-White Ideology. How? That's crazy. I don't even know how that would work. I don't know how you could force anti-whiteness into a RPG that you play with your friends in your own heads. I'm interested to find out. His name is Hypnotic. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's hypnosis. Maybe you'll read the new Dungeon Master's Guide and you're woke or something. Aren't Rantsonas just shitty VTubers? Yes. VTubers take more effort.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
This is kind of a VTuber. It's still a Rantsona, though.
Again, now every time we talk about Dungeons and
This is a very low effort situation.
Dragons, I feel like we kind of go in circles. And the reason why I feel that way is because I feel at this point people should know that Dungeons and Dragons as a IP is just, it's sold off, right? Like it's gone into the DEI rabbit hole.
DEI? I think from a little class solidarity, we could all understand that like Hasbro sucks. I think we could all get behind that. But I don't know what is anti-white, because I'm seeing new Dungeons and Dragons supplement delivers rant on anti-colonial play and asking players to avoid narrow morality. So, do you think colonial mindsets and narrow moralities are white ideology? That's the only through line I could draw here. You think whiteness is marked by colonialism and a narrow morality mindset? That's crazy. Tell me more.
And it's not coming back. And I know people are trying to hold on to hope as to maybe this will change and whatnot, but it's just not. I mean, once they showed me the ultra diverse orcs, you know, the Mexican orcs and the freaking whatever other kind of orcs they were showing, once they showed me that.
Can't have orcs with hats on. That makes them Mexican. Orcs have to be, you know, something else. I don't know what they would be. You could have orcs be anything.
That was everything I needed to know about the new Dungeons and Dragons. Well, apparently now the new supplement delivers a rant on anti-colonial play, asking players to avoid narrow morality against monster races like gnolls. Because yes, you don't want to be racist to gnolls.
Here you go. Good as new.
Okay. My character is a non-binary, polyamorous Caesar dragon thing.
Wow. That's pretty low effort comedy, air quotes? Also, why would your DM be giving you your character? Huh?
Dragonborn.
Oh, dragonborn.
Yeah.
But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. In this game, don't we go into dungeons and kill dragons? Okay, what is that? What is she doing?
That's our safe sign. The latest edition of D&D encourages all players to hold up a safe sign if someone is making them feel uncomfortable.
It is one of the offered suggestions, and right-wingers have been freaking out about it. You can just say, hey, whoa, that's fucking weird, or whatever. But I don't think anyone would do that for that. Like, it's just, you know, you're oppressing yourself with your own imagination in this scenario. You know? Just play the game you want to play. If you never use the X sign and you're like, yeah, we can do whatever we want at the table, I don't care. Do it. Yeah, you don't have to do anything.
Okay. What I said to make you feel uncomfortable?
Well, I'm uncomfortable with the colonialist implications of occupying a dungeon and literally genociding dragons based on racial stereotypes. Oh, and in case you didn't know, I'm half dragon.
You mean your character's half dragon?
No.
Yeah, that's just exactly like it is in real life. Oh, he has an intro. Aw.
That's
cute.
So damn ridiculous when you see this modern day
It's ridiculous. Dude, there's gotta be, I would like to see Rantsonas and organize them by literacy rate, because I don't know about them as a group ever.
nonsense reach into games like this, especially when they're tabletop games, it really starts to make you kind of drag down, because you used to be able to escape in games like this, right?
Escape. Yeah. I know exactly where you're at in life. Okay.
Especially tabletop games where you sit down and you literally role play. It kind of takes you out of it when while you're role playing, you're supposed to think about racism. You're supposed to think about misogyny.
What do you mean you're supposed to think about it? Huh? No, I think if you're being misogynistic at the table, that's when it would be weird. People would be like, huh, buddy?
Think about sexism, whatever other nonsense they want you to think about. It's absolutely insane. So let's get to this article, guys, from Phantom Post. But of course, before we do, if you
please subscribe. Hey, subscribe immediately, chat. Subscribe right goddamn now.
are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to
Oh, that was a terrible sound.
push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, I don't know what the hell this is. I'm going to assume this is one of their new trans Knowles. I really don't know what to even make of that. But if this is the Knowles, then I can kind of see why they want you to think about how you speak to them.
Wait, why? What?
Think about the morality that you view them through.
Why?
Yeah, I can see why they do that.
I don't understand why. Hold on. What about this knoll makes you... Because there's yellow lighting or something? What? I don't even know if this is a knoll, by the way. I don't know what's going on here. I would need more context. Looks cyberpunky. Yeah. Cyberpunk Knolls would be fucking sick. That's awesome.
The Dragons have moved into woke territory, which I feel like they already have, to the determinant of players in 2024's new edition, and now a new supplement, Forge of Foes by Skyflourish, turns an adventure into an anti-colonialism rant to further push woke politics on players. It says it's been a rough year for D&D players watching their beloved role-playing game of questing fighting monsters turned into a political cudgel and social conditioning tool by the Hasbro Corporation.
I would just love to see what the language is in the book. I don't even care. I'm probably not going to buy any new D&D stuff. I'll probably obtain them, but I wasn't going to support Hasbro in their future endeavors, that's for sure.
The 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide infamously has incorporated...
But it has nothing to do with being woke or what the fuck ever.
BDSM fetish community practices in the game.
Infamously has incorporated BDSM fetish community practices in the game? For safe spaces? Having players make an...
For safe spaces, having players make an X with their arms if they feel triggered by a situation and requiring the Dungeon Master to stop the game and address the player in question.
So you mean like having a safe word, I guess? I guess that means we're all fucking each other at the table. Let's go. I mean, sometimes. I feel like if you're a good DM, you end up having sex with every player at your table in the roleplay realm because they're always flirting with your totally cool NPCs, you know? It just happens. It just happens to my NPCs. I can't even help it. They just have Riz.
Oh, I remember this. This is insane. So I remember, this is crazy shit. I really... What do you say to this, right? Can you imagine playing a Dungeons and Dragons tabletop game and your dungeon master has to address you because you got triggered by something?
Yeah, I mean, it could happen for sure. That could happen. It usually happens in places where you don't know everybody at the table and they're like online settings where you kind of do like a roulette thing or whatever. That could happen, I suppose, depending on what's going on. I would say that most people who are playing D&D are ready to get into some crazy shit and aren't triggered easily. Like, people who play D&D do some wild stuff. And it just is what it is. I think it's okay to be like, hey, I'm not comfortable. You should be able... Mr. Hypnosis. Dr. Hypnosis. I need you to realize that it is okay if you don't feel comfortable in situations to speak up. It's okay.
Right? Imagine like you just see a player throw up an X with their arms. You're like, what are you doing? Degeneration X? When you stop it, WWF? Like, relax there. And you just
wow. Sheesh. That is embarrassing.
realize that, oh, you're not doing that. You're triggered by something. Crazy. I don't understand how there are people out there that are this weak. But every single day, we are reminded that they exist and they are real and they are pathetic. The 2024...
I think it's more pathetic and more makes you feel more pathetic if you are upset by something and you are too much of a coward to speak up about it. Like, for instance, if you are triggered by someone telling the table
have a fantastic day
that they're triggered, then... Maybe you have some stuff to work through, you know? Like if seeing someone throw up the X sign makes you lose it, you should consider about your own mental health, I think. Dr. Randy, 73 months, thank you.
4 Players Handbook is filled with imagery of BIPOC and female characters at the margin of more than 5-1 for white male characters, about the direct opposite of the demographics who play the game.
White male characters? Wait, are none of these white and male? How are these not white or male? 1, 2, what? 3 looking male figures here? How are they not white because they're orcs? That's weird.
Go.
They seem to have white skin. Is orc not white for some reason in your head? Do you associate orcs with a different race in your head? Which race do you associate orcs with in your head? That's fascinating. I associate them with orcs because I don't usually make an allegory. They're just whatever. I have, in fact, lore reasons for all of them in my setting, but whatever.
More than 5-1 for white male characters, about the direct opposite of the demographics who play the game. One D&D race has also had its entire history removed to get rid of slavery, and then there's a constant push to humanize orcs. One image even portrays the orcs as a family of Mexicans, making for a completely insulting depiction of Latinos in the name of diversity.
Wait, why are these Latinos? What? Why do you look at them and see Is it because this can't be Arizona? In fact, this mesa looks like it might be in Arizona or New Mexico or something. Does that have to be Latino? If you self-identify or whatever, if you see yourself or you see, this doesn't seem to evoke any specific race to me. It seems to be evocative of many different things that you would see in the biome of like a desert setting in like any D&D. You have some cowpoke, you got some, you got a guy with a hat. He's squatting, he's looking at stuff. There's cactuses. You still got your axes and shit, bow, horse. You know what I mean? Some kind of like game here. I don't know, maybe this one kid is indigenous to the space. He's the only one wearing anything that looks even close to that. And that's just because it's like a poncho type vibe, but not even. It's more of like a half poncho. It's cool. So I don't understand, man. I think you're projecting your like racist stereotypes onto this. Like, they came with horses and they're moving into this space and there's a bunch of them. It implies they're not from here, frankly. Like, he's looking out like he doesn't know where he's going. They look like they're scouting with their birds and shit. I don't know. It looks like a family. That's kind of a cool story. This is inspiring stuff, actually. I'm into it.
This is it right here. This is what made me say, you know what, bro, just give up on D&D.
Why? I mean, go ahead. I don't care.
At this point, because this picture where they try to humanize the orcs, and it's not just...
Where they try to humanize the orcs? What? If you think your game is made more interesting by having, like, mindless, like, just abjectly evil orcs, then do it. I don't care. I wouldn't make it a race allegory because then you would be a racist weirdo. But if you just have evil orcs, I don't care. If you think that's cool, whatever. I don't give a shit. I had a buddy whose setting, his orcs never stopped growing. And so the biggest ones were like giants and they were like the real powerful ones. It's not my setting, but that's his. Do it. I don't care. Why do you care if this was offered? Just move on. You're triggered. You are the one that's triggered, man. I think can everybody agree that these are the triggered little pussies now? It's just art. Draw different art then. Like, I don't even see what's upsetting about this. I'm genuinely too strong to be upset by this picture. It's inspiring and cool. I want to know about what's going on here. Everybody has so much personality. Clearly the artist thought about this. This is a fun story to tell. This has the Children of Morta vibes. You guys ever played that game?
Just D&D, by the way. All right, there's a multitude of different IPs that have utilized the creature orc, and they're trying to humanize them. They're trying to turn them into misunderstood villains or misunderstood creatures or whatever you want to call them.
Villains or creatures. For me, they're just like a species of humanoid. They're way more interesting as a species or than just mindless berserkers or what the fuck ever you got going on. Like, even Tolkien was up in the air on whether or not orcs had like families and stuff, and they had nuance, but his were made by evil people and like made to do evil shit. So that's interesting. In fact, I really like the Rings of Power for their take on orcs. Very fascinating. We should just do the same things forever and ever and ever, and if you change it, I will get upset. I guess so. Pussy, man.
They're trying to humanize them because they view them as black people. That's normally what it is. And
black people? Bro, you're projecting. I have never once thought that. I thought like black humans in D&D were black people in D&D. Because there's already humans in black ones. Like, what are you talking about? That's a self-report, dog. What are you doing?
I hope you have a fantastic day.
Dirtger, thank you for the 40 months.
And I know you guys are listening and be like, really? That's true? Yes, it is true.
Yes, it's true. It's not true. There's already black people in D&D. They're black people.
If you look back at all these journalists, if you look at all the mainstream gaming industry people, they say that orcs are a harmful stereotype of black people.
I disagree. I think people are just like, orcs are interesting and cool and I want to know more about them. And when you say to yourself, as a creative person, okay, what are orcs like? If you want to go, they're just violent creatures that are created for evil. That's pretty one-dimensional and not that interesting, but maybe it could be interesting. Write that story. Tell me about it. See where it goes. For me, I have ideas about what my orcs are and the differences between, we'll call them orc races in my setting. And I think it's pretty cool. It has nothing to do with black people or whatever.
That's what they view it as, which is why they're trying to humanize orcs every chance that they get. I'm actually shocked that they try to represent them as Mexicans. I guess because it's okay to dehumanize Mexicans, but it's not okay to dehumanize black people through the depiction of orcs. But
I have never seen orcs depicted as black people unless it was racist motherfuckers. I have seen racist guys using scenes from Lord of the Rings, essentially. That's it. I've never seen someone that's doing something creative and trying specifically to do some kind of like woke orc thing, and they were black people. I've never seen that. The only time I've seen it is with racists doing racist shit. So, I mean, calls coming from inside the house?
Only people who thought that orcs were black people were racist white liberals. Those are the only people that viewed orcs as such. These are the same people that view the goblins from Harry Potter as Jewish representation. This is the same kind of mindset of
the goblins?
That kind of person, right? So you got those people thinking that the goblins are Jewish. You got...
Huh? Are you talking about Joanne making, like, banking stereotypes with them and stuff? Like, that wasn't anybody else doing it. That was Joanne. It was just like, you know, side-eye.
Got these people thinking that the orcs are black people. I mean, it doesn't end at this point. They're all psychopaths. So then it says that this prompted Elon Musk to beg the question as to how much Hasbro costs for him to buy the parent company, a Wizard of the Coast, and save Dungeons and Dragons from all of these woke controversies.
He'll drive that into the fucking ground, too. That would be it. Play the game you want to play, man.
Now, we have a new licensed supplement that's been released called Forge of Foes. In the Lazy DM series for Sky Flourish has turned into an anti-white rant about colonialism to destroy players' immersion in the game. Former World of Warcraft lead developer Mark Kern.
You're invoking crumbs? Oh, God. Emphasis on former. The guy hasn't done anything. Isn't he literally stealing money from people to not make games? Like, come on, dude. Say what you will about Hasbro, at least they release a product. This is fucking pathetic.
Posted to X about the supplement saying, do you like lectures in your D&D supplements? Forge of Foes, a 5e book by Slyfers, includes lengthy section on anti-colonialism that it says is the greatest evil dungeon masters must learn to deal with, and that dealing with it will make the game better. Tips include not all gnolls. Say gnoll bandits are attacking, not gnolls are attacking. Focus on villainy as a choice, not a trait. Guess we can't have evil monsters anymore. It was just their socio-economic circumstances. No heroes, your players aren't saving anyone. That will make them seem weak.
I think it's fine to talk about villainy as a choice, not a trait, because it makes dungeon masters ask, why are they choosing to steal? And if the answer is, because gnolls are bad, that's definitely a way to approach it. I think it's more interesting if the gnolls are hungry, or they need something, or like you can even say that's just like, yeah, the way that they eat and get things they need is they rove around and they just attack whoever they see and they just take shit. Okay, but that's because it wouldn't be 100% that gnolls do that. That's like their society, you know what I mean? And then you could conceive of a gnoll that doesn't do that, which would be interesting. A gnoll that doesn't just automatically fucking try to bite my face? That's interesting. Why does it do that? Who knows, man? If you just want abjectly evil gnolls, that's fine. But I think you can stand to be creative from time to time.
Use reliable sources for cultural inspirations and try to see things from the Mind Flayer's perspective, apparently. Why is tabletop absolutely infused with these useless and insulting sermons?
Try to see things from the Mind Flayer's perspective, apparently. So interesting. That's what Baldur's Gate did. That's part of it. That's why it's fascinating. I totally think that's super cool. Like, the writer of this article is doing a joke, right? Try to see things from the Mind Flayer's perspective, apparently. No, but think about that. What if you hungered for brains? That's so fascinating. What would you do? Would you just fucking be like, no, I don't need, I'm a Mind Flayer. I'm not gonna hurt people no more. Of course you fucking wouldn't. You would eat brains. You would become a Mind Flayer. So what is that like? That's fascinating.
That don't belong in rulebooks? ? With his tweet, he posted a screenshot of D&D group scroll for initiative from Blue Sky that states the supplement has anti-colonial play and has called for Hasbro's official 2025 Monster Manual to address the point. This post included a section from the supplement which said use ancestries as additives. No bandits are attacking villages, rather than gnolls are attacking villages, to avoid forcing narrow morality onto sapient creatures. It also stated focus on villainy as a choice, not a biological or cultural imperative. Bro, oh my god, bro.
Bro.
Can you imagine trying to enjoy a game of D&D only for you to have to walk on eggshells about everything that you say because you don't want to be offensive?
You don't got to walk on eggshells to not be offensive. Like this is just text for the DM. You wouldn't even experience any of that shit. Like, it's clear you're not the dungeon master, you know?
Who the hell, listen, if I'm playing D&D and I'm sitting with someone and they get offended
I don't think you're playing D&D ever, man.
over how the characters are depicted in the game and how they're spoken about in the game as we are playing, and they try to get offended as if I just made a racial black joke, you're going to get the fuck out of my house.
A racial black joke? I mean, I guess it depends on what you said, but...
Go.
Like, I guess if you said something real fucked up and it was just a racist joke and then you just swap gnolls out for whatever the racist shit would be, yeah, I mean, that'd be weird. I would get up I wouldn't be in your house anyway. Imagine having to walk on eggshells when you try to figure out more about the orc band attacking and are just shouted at after being told not to be woke and that they are just evil bastards. Yeah, the orcs attacked. Why? No, that's woke to ask why. All right.
At this point, I don't even know why you're even...
Razor Beast.
I hope you will have a contact
60 months, so he's okay with racial jokes about other people. Oh, yeah.
in here. Who are you even? Like, who are you? That doesn't make any sense. Get out of my house. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that will feel the same exact way if they saw someone throw up an X with their arms because they're triggered and they need somebody to address them and make them feel special.
That's you feeling triggered. You're the one that's being triggered right now. You're the guy that's triggered. I hate to break it to you. This whole video is you being that.
Get the fuck out of my house. You are clearly not here.
Get out of my house! Like, that's triggered. That's you being triggered. Being unable to talk is very triggered.
Trying to have fun playing D&D. You are...
I'm trying to have fun playing D&D. Get the fuck out of my house. You know? Does that sound like a guy who's trying to have fun playing D&D? I think you're the fucking triggered one. I play weekly D&D and have for years. We have a very high quality game, and you could call me a wokey. I don't really think about this stuff because I'm post-racial. Okay, I'm just so woke. But I'll say this: our game is about, to some extent, colonialism. To some extent, it is about wokeness.
Look at this. It says anti-colonial play.
But that's like, I swear to God, everything you like is woke. Literally everything you like is woke. Star Wars, original trilogy. Buddy, that's the leftists. The rebels, that's us.
You are here trying to push activism where it doesn't belong.
Activism doesn't belong in your D&D? That's fascinating. What is your adventure? Tell me about your adventure, and then try to tell me how that isn't you doing activism. We're trying to beat the dragon. Is the dragon in charge of stuff? Can I only have fun? If you don't like my fun, leave. By the way, if you want to have a game where you bend the knee to the king all the time, and just like listen real good, that's fantastic. I want you to play that game.
Then Grums posted the full page telling players how to engage in anti-colonial play, which includes those points and more as checklists for players on how to act more woke in the D&D setting. This is all social conditioning. That's all this is.
Social conditioning with a third-party supplement for D&D?
This is meant to condition the people who play this game.
I think it's meant to discuss this topic with the people who buy this supplement, personally.
To think like leftist activists. That's all it is, in the hopes to try to, convert some people at least. That's all this is. Anti-colonial play is fucking ridiculous, bro. At this point, you might as well not even be playing these games.
Do you even know what colonialism is to be upset that it's being taught to be anti? Like, I didn't even read this. I don't even know if I like how they talk about it. But you can rest assured that this isn't going to affect someone's game if they're not a Wokey. Like, just play the game you want to play. You could be colonists in your game. You're like, we represent the king and we are here to establish a colony. Play it.
You're going to be offended by the mere idea of anything close to like racism or slavery or something along those lines, because you're viewing these characters as real life POCs. You're out of your mind. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video.
You're out of your mind. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching so much for watching the video. He's doing a YouTube. I don't think the Rantsona game is working. I don't like it. Total slop content. They don't have much to say. They just say it for 10 minutes or thereabouts so they can get their mid-roll in. I guess I got my mid-roll in. Let's go. Everyone gets a mid-roll ad. Woo! Subscribe so you can avoid them.